Good evening, students. So today we are going to talk about the circulatory system. Now, from the word the circulatory system, we are going to talk about the blood which is being circulated by the heart. Now, the definition as far as we are concerned, it is a network of blood vessels and heart that supplies tissues with oxygen and transport hormones and removes the waste products. As we go on with the circulatory system, we should know about what are the components that composes the circulatory system. What are they? It is obviously the blood which is getting circulated, and this is getting circulated through the blood vessels. Now, when the blood is circulated through the blood vessels, that kind of circulatory system is called as closed circulatory system, which is observed well in vertebrates as well as in earthworm. Okay, now when this blood is transferred through the blood sinuses or the spaces, that kind of circulatory system is observed in the invertebrates, for example in insects like grasshopper, cockroaches, etc. So the types are now clear. Now let us talk about the blood, one of the component. As we know that average amount of blood which is present in the human body is 6 to 7 liters, and obviously in the blood maximum percentage is composed by the plasma, okay, whereas the rest of the percentage is composed by the other components of blood like the erythrocytes, which are responsible for the red pigment of the body as they contain the hemoglobin. The leukocytes, from the name itself, they do not contain any kind of pigment and involve the immune system in the body, and platelets, which are responsible for the clotting of blood. Now, as we talk about the blood getting flowed through the blood vessels, we should know what are actually the blood vessels which are present in our body. What are they? Number one, the arteries. Arteries are those vessels which carries blood away from the heart. Now, if they carry blood away from the heart, they have to be thick-walled and have a good amount of lumen, okay? Whereas thin lumen,
high blood pressure.
okay. In case of veins, they bring the deoxygenated or the oxygen poor blood to the heart from the tissues. Now, in contrast to the arteries, they have very thin, they have thick-walled, but there's thin-walled. Veins are thin-walled. Okay. Now, large lumen having the capillaries. Now, the capillaries, as you see, 80. So, the capillaries are these delicate structures, very thin-walled. Obviously, you know, they are thin-walled and they are present in the body wherever there is a need of gaseous exchange, for example in lungs obviously and in muscles. So these are all about the blood vessels. Now, the circulatory system is incomplete without talking about the human heart. Now, the human heart, so heart is a highly muscular organ which is mesodermal in origin. Now, the heart is the size of a human fist, okay, and it beats about 72 beats per minute. Now, as we go inside the heart, we should know that the covering of the heart is known as pericardium, okay, which is highly shock absorbable. The upper two chambers of the heart is called as atrium. The right side is the right and the left is the left atrium. The lower two chambers are called the ventricles, the right and the left. The two atrium are separated by the interarterial septum, whereas two ventricles are separated by interventricular septum. The splits bi and the tricuspid valves, as you see. Now, the deoxygenated blood is being enters the vena cava, that is inferior and superior vena cava in the right atrium, and then passed to the right ventricle. From there itself, the blood is, so from the right atrium again, the deoxygenated blood is pumped out through the pulmonary artery into the lungs for oxygenation. Then again, from the lungs, the oxygenated blood, okay, comes and enters into the left atrium through the pulmonary vein. Now, from the left atrium, then again the oxygenated blood enters into the left ventricle. Again, from the left ventricle through the aorta, the oxygenated blood is passed through the aorta and it's passed through the body.
Blood vessels